Hey guys, I couldn't wait to come back to this video because when I made that video last night, I was in no space to make a video. I'd eaten my dinner and I suffer with a lot of abdominal pain, so it's very hard for me to illustrate all the different feelings just rushing to my head. And but I'd like to do that now. I think I said it pretty fairly last night. And listen, I love Jesus. I have faith in God, and that's what matters to me more than anything. God gave us the sun and the moon and the stars for signs, and I know that much, and I'm not going to ignore that. I feel this in my bones, like I can't even begin to say. I know people have been through. So I'm going to give you an overview of this first before I say anything, because you should know this. Not this rapture talk, right? That past, these people have made themselves false prophets. Prophet Joshua, or they want to, false prophet Joshua. And the other guy there that... The other guy that's, you've probably seen that guy, he looks at license plates, he's like, oh, this means that and that means this. I don't do that. And as a matter of fact, I don't want to be known as anything. But if I see something and it matches scripture, I'm going to point it out and I'm going to say it out loud. And if necessary, I'll do it again. So let's ask this first question. What have you and I been looking for in prophecy for the longest time? The one that's been building and building and building. What prophecy do you think that is? So let's do some puzzle pieces here. So we know the prophecy about Jesus coming and dying in Daniel 9 has already happened, but we know there was another space there. And we know that the temple was destroyed in 70 AD. But when it breaks in the middle of that, of 27, and he shall confirm a covenant with many for 1 week, right? And through watching another Christian channel, it made me think, it doesn't have to be a covenant with Israel. It doesn't have to be. So what are we looking for? We're looking for, as they've been saying forever, we never truly knew how this would happen. And I looked in the comments section for the video I made last night because I wanted to see what people were saying about what I saw. And there was a lot of mixed things. And I asked people to put your emotions away for a second and actually look, like Daniel would, like many people in Scripture look mathematically for stuff. The Bible isn't done yet. The Scriptures are done. Those prophecies are done. As long as we're alive and here and before the millennial kingdom, there are still prophecies to be fulfilled. So, what was I saying? So we're waiting for this covenant to happen. Remember what Jesus said to the Pharisees, how they missed their time? And I'm not saying because you don't understand what I'm saying, you're not saved. That's not what I'm saying. But remember what he said to them. You can discern the stars and but you don't know the time of your visitation. And this still has to do with his visitation, his second visitation. And so we're looking for a covenant. And if you're in the Scripture, then you're well aware of what just happened. When they say peace and safety, sudden destruction will come upon them like labor pains. I don't have to tell you that. We shall know the times and the seasons. We shall also know by all the other things that we see happening around us. Since COVID, government's trying to take control of us. What is this? Holy Never let a good thing go to waste. They didn't. Now they want to get under our skin and monitor us. Do you see what's happening? The sun is going insane with coronal mass ejections, and they're coming to Earth. They're putting Elon Musk satellites down, 2 per day. I think it says 2 per day. It may even be more. But that magnetism through God is causing major earthquakes, 3 a day, 1 megathrust and 2 huge ones in 1 day, and a volcano. There's a volcano every damned week. Open your eyes. So when I say this, you're surprised, right? So, that's why I don't watch the comment section anymore. I feel passionate about God, and if I see something that does fit and then comes to pass, you're damn right I'm going to tell you. Just give me a break here for a second. I'm going to gather my thoughts because I want to say this correctly. And I not at any point want to make this about me, but I will say this though. For 2 months or maybe even a bit longer, look at my last video that I did, the first one of it was done this morning. You can see the videos that I said the tribulation will begin on Monday if, now check your emotions, if Apophis is Wormwood. I'm going to say it again. If Apophis is Wormwood. And don't give me the line of no man knows the day or the hour. If you start saying that to yourself, then you shut yourself out of looking at this prophecy to see if it's true. And I understand that people are I don't want another false prophet coming in and stuff like that. I'm not prophesying. I'm telling you something that just wait a sec. I'm putting 2 things together that are biblically connected. And so I might as well, I'll just give you the story. And I wrote some things down just in, I wanted to have my thoughts, because this is in my bones, like Jeremiah said. I just can't wait to get this out. Would it not make sense for the tribulation to begin after this signing? So all the leaders got together, go research it, okay? They got together on the 13th of October, and I saw in my comment section, but they did the first phase of this peace thing on the 8th. That may be true, but did they sign then? Did they make the covenant then? No. It was on the 13th. I had to check and recheck. And I even started to erase my video last night because I thought I was wrong for a second, but I went to recheck the dates over and over and over, and it's not wrong. So, if I think I'm wrong, I'll turn off that video right away. I'm not going to let that be out there. So wouldn't it make sense that the tribulation would begin after this covenant? And those who know will understand what I'm saying. You'll be a brand, and you'll see if the things that I say are in fact true, and you will test the spirits. So here's the story of how this came to be for me. I heard there's an asteroid called Apophis. Before I get into what Apophis is and its size and everything, let's consider the number that they have given to it, right? They give every space rock that they know a number. We've looked, we see around what's happening in the world. They're doing these satanic Grammy shows. Every show they do, they get a chance, they do something satanic. You know it, it's happening. They did it in El Sheikh at that after this signing in Egypt. They did a big show in front of the pyramids where they showed the X, the Pharaoh X, right? The satanic sigil, as above, so below. They did that show right after. They're telling us who they are. Donald Trump is the biblical antichrist of the Bible, and Elon Musk is the false prophet. take from that what you will. It's too deep. It's too deep. But you can check 2 videos back to look at another video I made about Donald Trump. No, he's just doing it all. Eh? He's just doing every single thing the Antichrist will do, and but he's not him though, right? He's not him. Very tricky stuff, and that's the way it's meant to be. So what number did they give to Apophis anyways? 11111, 2659, 99942. You know the tricks they play with us, and I think they found this in 2004. Don't get me wrong on this. And Tom Horn had been looking at this for a long time. Now, I didn't hear Apophis from Tom Horn. I was doing my own searching about this rock because I thought it fit Trumpet 1 to 4 judgment, and then I found Tom Horn's video because I was researching, and I found, and I couldn't believe what I heard. And so let's look at the number first. You turn it around the other side, that's 666. So there's something that they know about this rock that they've given it this number. Not the other, not the other interstellar, not the other rocks, just this one. So immediately you know it's 666. They know something about this Apophis, which stands for the ancient god of destruction. And I saw Tom Horn, the deep studies of that. But as you can see in my video, I added them up, and go look like 4 or 5 videos ago. Not only did they attribute 666 with it, but if you add those numbers up, it gives you 33. That's the highest degree of Freemasonry, but you guys still don't get it yet. Think of Kash Patel when the Charlie Kirk, when they supposedly found the guy who did it, right? What did Kash Patel come out and say? We found him in 33 hours. They're playing such a satanic game with you and I. But don't let it bother you. They're showing who they are. You don't believe me? Go look. It was fake. Do you think they really... We found the guy in 33 hours. A record, they said. And I heard so much stuff after that it was fake. But I don't want to get into that. These are the games they play. And if you can't understand the times and the seasons, that this is what they do through their Grammy shows, through their stuff, their rituals. Pardon me. So there's 2 numbers that are satanic about the number they gave to it. And to this video I will attach Tom Horn so you can see it in its fullness of what Tom Horn said so very long ago. And so I thought, when I heard Tom Horn say, okay, first off, let's talk about Apophis, this big asteroid itself. They kept giving it more percentage that it was coming, it was a 1% chance, and it went up to a 2, and then it went up to like a 4, and it stayed there, and they play around with it because, in my opinion, all the news media are paid off, okay? That's just the way it is these days. And I was watching, I saw this. So if it's got a 2 or 4% chance, and I saw my comment section, it said, what number did you give it? Like a trillion or at least a billion chance that it's going to hit us? Here I am watching a I am geophysicist Stephen Burns. I'm not trying to mock him, but just say, I am geophysicist Stephen Burns, and this this Apophis, it is it is worrisome, but it's got a 1, and I think he said a billion chance, even though it says 2 to 4%. That's not what the math does with that. But let's talk about it. Tom Horn saw this for what it is, and he saw the number that they gave to it, and I didn't figure that number out with those 2 meanings from him. God gave that. And on Friday the 13th, April 2029. Our Earth is going to stand still on that day. Make no mistake, it will. Why? Because this thing weighs 30 times, 20 times. Imagine if an aircraft carrier, a U.S. aircraft carrier, they're huge. They're like 1 to 110,000 tons of steel city. 5,000 people live on that. Imagine that we knew that was coming to crash on the Earth. We would be pretty scared, man. Remember that the one in Siberia? That was just a minute size compared to Apophis, and that took down hundreds of kilometers of forests. But Apophis is 20 times an aircraft carrier. 20 times. It weighs 20 million metric tons. It's 1,400 feet by 1,200 feet. So picture the CN Tower. That's how tall it is. And almost wide too. Or like the Twin Towers, the way they used to be. That's pretty big. Okay? Tom Horn thought that it matched Trumpet 1 to 4. You know, and the sixth seal is, you know, the men hide in the rocks, his wrath has come. So we know that has to be the midpoint. That's when you and I are raptured. That will be the true rapture, whatever God does with us. We are not appointed to wrath, as we know. I am pre-wrath. I know what it says in seal number 6. Then they hid in the rocks and the caves and hide us from the wrath of the Lamb, right? And then seal 7, and an angel, you know, filled a censer with fire and threw it down to the earth. And then John describes hail mixed with fire and blood. What the heck does that mean? And Tom Horn made very good sense of this. So that is not going to be by itself. Apophis. Let's say this first. Apophis is, they're saying that it's going to come 20,000 miles. Now, do you understand that distance? Humanity has never faced that. If the 66 million years ago of the dinosaurs and that, you know, big rock is even true, since then we have not faced an extinction from space like this. Sorry, it's a partial planet killer. But if this is, which I fully believe in my heart it is, it will hit the ocean because it says so. And that will amplify what it does through massive tsunamis and probably earthquake. It'll hit the bottom of the ocean very quickly and trigger earthquakes and all types of stuff. But hail mixed with fire. So if you look up into the sky as something the size of Apophis, it's probably going to have little things. It's going to break up as well. And it's going to look like hail mixed with fire. A great mountain was, you know, thrown into the sea, burning with fire. Go read Trumpet 1 to 4. I'm not going to go through them. You can go through them. So it's, what is it, Revelation 7 or 8? Got to take a sip of water. Pardon me for a second. Revelation 7 or 8, I forget which one, I think it's 8. They're telling us, now know this, okay? If you listen to what these experts are telling you, mainstream experts, about Apophis and its ability to hit the earth, do you think they're actually going to tell you the truth? I want you to imagine for a second. It's going to come 10,000 miles under the satellites. Something that size, okay? Do you think they'll tell us about it? I don't believe they would. because there would be chaos, and that chaos would begin today. So if that came over the radio, people would be like, oh man, I'll just start stealing, hey, that woman looks good. Do you understand? Hey, look at all the stuff that guy, I'm going to steal that car. What does it even matter? Or people who are pyromaniacs. Hey, okay, man, you understand? So they would never tell us it was coming. That's what I believe. Okay? I don't know what else to say to that. They're telling us. So what I'm telling you here is they're telling us, go research it yourself, 20,000 miles from the Earth. Something the size of the Twin Towers in length and width. Almost width. It's huge. All you got to know is that it's 20 million metric tons. Let's start with that. And then Tom Horn said, okay, first of all, Tom Horn had a vision. I love Tom Horn. I think he's really good. You may have seen him on apostate channels, but he was also on good channels too. He wrote a lot of books and some good stuff, but his message was always good. It was always good. And would you trust a man that the only two prophecies he's given, the first one came true, Petros Romanus, I think it's called, and he wrote the book. He prophesied 1 year ahead of time that Pope Benedict was going to abdicate the throne. And it hadn't been done in 600 years, and it happened. And when they found out that Tom Horn predicted it, all the Catholic churches and news people from all different, they were all over him about this. How did you know? So he got that right. So Apophis, you watch the video. He said he saw it happen in a vision. I believe him. Even if you don't believe him about a vision, we have a mathematical calculation anyways. He said he couldn't believe, like, when he looked at Apophis, that it comes on Friday the 13th of all days. So that's April 13th in 2029. So, his analytical biblical mind is saying, that looks like trumpet 1 to 4. That's what it would be. And obviously God is sending this towards the earth for a reason. We have never seen anything like this before in our modern history. We have not. This is an existential crisis. So, if it is, he said this would be the midpoint, because that would be trumpet 1. The seals will all be done. So naturally, what do you do if that is the midpoint? You would count backwards, and you can count forwards too. And people are going to say, you don't know the day or the hour. I don't know what to say to that. I'm sorry. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to refute that. But you can't argue what I'm saying next. You count backwards 3.5 years, and that guy is no longer here to say it came true. Count backwards 3.5 years. I've been making videos for 2 months. I've made about, I don't know, probably 3 specifically just about Apophis, and about a few others talking about Apophis. And you can see, look at my last video that I made in this morning, and look at the video I connected at the end. I'll connect it again. I say tribulation will begin on Monday. And so it comes to October 13th. Okay? So as I was eating dinner last night, I thought to myself, because I'm in 2 schools at once, I'm more busy than you can imagine with 2 schools, and my life is pain and all the things I got to do for myself. So I became absent-minded, and I forgot to look. And so it suddenly came to my mind as I was eating my dinner. And I look back, I look at my calendar, and I'm like, oh man, first thing I'm like, look at those earthquakes. 3 earthquakes in that one day in a volcano. And but it wasn't that day. It was pretty close. But I also said about this when I made the videos, I said, give or take a few days. I didn't say that this would be exact. You can go back and watch my videos. I say give or take within a number of days. But that's not the way it turned out. It came on the 13th. That Trump and they all met in Egypt. Egypt, of all place. Egypt is the origination of Apophis, the god of destruction. Watch Tom Horn's video all the way through. I'll give you 2 of them. So it happened. I don't know what else to say to that, guys. Wouldn't it make sense that when they signed this covenant, which the whole Christian world of eschatology watchers would believe that the tribulation might well begin when they sign a covenant? That's all I have to say. I'm just going to think if there is anything else I want to say. But let me pace here because of my pain. And just amazing, man. And for those who watch my videos, you knew I was saying this. And this isn't about me. This has nothing to do. This is about Jesus Christ. But why wouldn't I talk about this? What an amazing... and you're going to say it's not a prophecy in the Bible. But we're supposed to figure stuff out. That's the way the Bible is. It's not, you know, I'm going to give it to this popular pastor or this person who's been in what's the name? I can't even think of the name right now, but who's been in school for Master of Divinity, right? Something caught my eye. So I'm not saying this is a prophecy of the Bible. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm a prophet either. But maybe God chose me to say this to you, to continue what Tom Horn was saying. I find that truly amazing. And if I was to pick anything that would... So listen, we know the times and the seasons. We see the garbage happening in our world. You see evil people. You see our countries filled with immigration. That is not, it's purposeful in all Western countries to destroy us and to give us a solution. It's called the Hegelian dialect. And so if I was to pick anything, we know this covenant is here. So why would you doubt this, is my question. Why would you doubt this? All I'm saying is this. Keep it in your heart. That's it. I'm not a prophet. I didn't prophesize anything. I just said, if that is Wormwood, then that would be the midpoint. You know your Bible. You know Revelation. That's the midpoint. So naturally, the next thing to do is to count backwards 3.5 years of the date that rock is going to hit. And it landed right on that peace covenant and El Sheikh in Egypt.